I really appreciate having social media to sort of like keep me entertained, but thank God I'm not at home the whole day. You know what I mean? Shit, man.
I don't know how people do it. I'd go crazy, dude.
They're fucked, man. Woo! All right. We gotta get through this one. I don't have time to dick around here. In 3, 2, 1. It's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 35. Shanto, how you feeling tonight, big guy?
Good. I'm glad we started like a normal. We didn't try to come up with a scheme on how to start.
I'll be back to my old ways next week. How you feeling, bro?
Happy. Feeling good, man.
Yeah? Solid 96? 96 degrees?
It's hot. Yeah. I was 96, 97, 97. What's the 96.7?
Yeah, somewhere close to that, hopefully.
It was 97, I think. So.
Well, hopefully it stays that way, big guy. Yeah, man. Very, very interesting week, considering bringing back Ani Catering and Cafe's Instagram account.
Oh.
Back to active status. Haven't posted a picture on that one in a while. I'm going to do a little bit of my old tactics. You know what I mean? Going back.
Do the old tactics still work?
The old tactics very much still work. I still get Instagram models liking my pictures, following me, and then doing the old unfollow 3 days later once they see I followed back. But then I unfollow them just to like, I got you. Yeah, definitely bringing in some old tricks that I used to use back into the playbook now for Ani, because that one always will be number one. What have you been up to, Sean? Talk to me a little bit before I let everybody know what we're going to be doing tonight.
Yeah, we got something really different tonight, so we're excited about that. What I've been doing, I've been coming up with a bunch of new YouTube videos that I'm going to start recording soon. I would be doing that right now, but doing this podcast instead.
Same.
I saw your, real quick, we'll touch on this. I saw because I was looking at like how to preface my next video. Obviously, real estate and this craziness that's going on. We're still in this coronavirus craziness right now, which, depends when you're listening to this. We're still in the thick of it. Mm-hmm. It is April-ish. And I saw your video, the one I looked at yours. I was like, let me look up a few people. You're one of the guys I reference. You had like 4 videos recently. They all had like 1,000, 4,000, 3,000 views. But then the one that said coronavirus had 25,000. So I was like, all right. So I was going to preface it. Should you buy a house right now during like whatever, literally the topic you had? I think you said, should I buy a car right now or something? What was it?
What car buying is like during the coronavirus pandemic. Something like that.
Was that
the title was, I know what you mean. It was a very, very tricky title. I didn't want to piss anybody off really, so I had to phrase it very carefully.
Buying a car during the COVID-19 coronavirus. So I'm going to do, basically copying you, buying a house during the COVID-19.
Well, it's a good thing you're not trying to monetize on that video because YouTube will not allow it. You cannot reference a tragedy, come to find out. But you'll definitely get views, which is good. But yeah, I got to come up with a few more videos this week. However, I've been doing a lot of time thinking about, after all this, how to get ahead, how to be better next time, and that's something that I'm constantly working on. It's just I've been sort of, I haven't been pumping out or cranking out the normal amount of work because right now it doesn't require it. Nobody's exactly buying up a storm outside right now, so.
Yeah, I've been very weak on social media this past like couple of weeks, and I just don't know what to do. I'm just so like, I don't know.
Here's what I wanted to say, Sean. So real quick, I know we've got our guest coming on in a few minutes. If you wanted to actually give him a heads up that we're about to get on, And in the meantime, while he's about to hop on, I wanted to touch on, man, like there's so many people that I follow right now on social media, so many heavy hitters that some of them, they either got laid off or they, their businesses is shut down and they're not doing shit. And this is what I think that's wrong with our system, is that somebody else comes in and starts wiping your ass when something falls apart. Like, business owners are able to qualify for more money than they were actually making during a time like this, instead of being told, like, listen, you got to come up with some fucking genius idea before we can issue you a paycheck.
Yeah.
And it just fucking pisses me off, man, because, like, dude, you could be sitting down on your couch with your laptop, drawing up a game plan for what you can do right now, what you can be working on. Instead, you're fucking watching either Netflix or, like, I'm seeing it play out live in front of me on my Instagram stories, and they're fucking, I don't know, they're like in front of the Trader Joe's parking lot or whatever, and they're just fucking like, oh, look at this douchebag, look at this idiot. Like, what are you doing, bro? Go home and work.
That was me today. I was at Trader Joe's.
It was all of us. I was at Starbucks earlier. I was about to put up a video, and I'm like, no.
Not gonna be that
I'm
guy.
not doing that. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's weird, and that's what we want to talk about today. That's why we're bringing someone on who kind of like what can you be like? You have to be doing something. You can't just chalk it up as all right. Well,
yeah, you can't write that one off. Like, you gotta figure this shit out, man. Like imagine.
And we're trying to figure it out, right? Like, it's not like, oh, we have a thing. That's why we want to, like, this next couple of like things I think we want to do is bring people on who are doing something different. We want to learn, right? Because we're selfishly want to learn this shit too. I want to know what people are doing. Like, some people we could see what they're doing. They're just sitting there fucking
twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the restrictions to come off, instead of thinking about how can I convert my whole business to online. I'm getting like really, really turned off by a lot of people that when they were in business, they were the fucking man. Now they're like they're the epicenter of TikTok. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, so what you got your. So real quick, Shant, before he hops on, can you introduce your friend who is also in real estate before he introduces himself? Basically, give me a rundown of who is about to hop on the call.
Okay, my buddy John, he's actually, I don't even know how we met. He's a realtor here in Phoenix. He just moved out here a couple of years ago, but he had a successful real estate business in California.
Nice.
Like, crushing it out there. And he came out here. We met, and he's trying to still do two at the same time. Business out here, business in California. He has a couple people in California helping, like, working under him, I think. He'll explain the specifics, how he does it. And he goes back and forth a lot. He travels back and forth a lot to California. He's in Northern California. Turlock? I don't know what the fuck he is. He'll say where he's from in California originally. But he's here now, so I kind of asked him, because I saw him, he's still like getting deals going. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah, right now,
like, what's going on? So I wanted to bring him on and for us to kind of see what some people are doing different, because shit got real really fast, man. Shit changed quick, especially for realtors. Like, can't do open houses. You can't really be out there like doing what we were doing 2 months ago. So it's like, what can you do? So I want to bring him on.
Well, by the time he makes it on, hopefully he could stop me from rambling on. But right now, these auto dealers, I feel you, because same shit. You can't show cars at the dealership. You can't do shit. So all these car dealers, they're getting pissed off at the state. Like, yo, make us essential workers. The states are fighting back, saying like, no, fucking do what we've been telling you to do all along, and start taking test drives to customers' driveways and doing paperwork online.
Yes, yeah.
How about that for a change? Stop fucking begging for you to be called essential. You're not essential. You could be doing it from there, and you can make it even more essential by bringing the car to them, right? So stop bitching.
With their stupid printer, it's like 8 years old.
Yeah,
fix that process.
it's all going digital, bro. There's like 5,000 dealers that signed up with this one company that does in-home paperwork, like fully digital paperwork. So they're working on a whole new iPad-based system where you could take documents to somebody's house. But by the time that these guys start realizing what's going on, it'll take like months. So
there he is.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, John?
Good, Ari. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to meet you. Shant was just giving me an intro about LA, Northern California and Arizona. You're involved in real estate there.
Yeah, Central California and
Central?
North Central region there. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Sick.
My bad. I fucked it up. All right. Alrighty.
Dude, you just never pay attention.
Yeah, that's true.
Like wax the hair out of those ears, man.
So, yeah, I mean, this is John, everyone. And we wanted to bring him on because, like, you know, we're trying to figure shit out, like what people are doing different. Because, like, we just talked about it. Shit got real, really fast, man. Like, we were doing stuff different just a month ago, right?
Pretty much, right? A month ago it was like New York's like, oh, shit is like rumbling. And then, like, maybe by you guys, maybe like 2 weeks ago.
So let's go starting up this year. My team and I, and I'm not here to brag, but my team and I, we closed the most that we did in our first 2 months of real estate, nearly half of what we closed last year.
Wow.
Come last week of February, I've been reading up on news, talking to a few of my lenders. It's just what I do every single morning. And I'm like, is shit going to hit the fan? What's going on? You know? And then you hear a lot of positivity in the news. You know, rates went down. Buyers are back out there. I'm getting contacted by all these buyers. Leads are coming in from my lead gen online. First week of March, California just goes on a stop. It just, as if we just hit LA traffic. You know what I mean? It's just immediate stop.
Shit.
What the hell's going on? Now everyone's just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So we got sellers panicking. We got buyers panicking. And our job is to just be real with everyone, you know? And I started feeling it right, like probably day 10 in you know, Arizona, because California is always first, like, we're just over here on like the West Coast. And then in Arizona, just about 10 days later, I just started hearing, I'm getting emails in from our company and telling us, hey guys, this is what's going on. And then the news. And I just felt like, when I just started in the business in 2009, okay, how the media, how news, just breaking news everywhere. Banking's doing this, banking's doing that. But this time I'm hearing it from my lenders. Hey, guidelines have changed. Hey, this is what might possibly happen, you know? And then all of a sudden, midweek of March, it just happened. You can't refi jumbo loans anymore. Like, what the hell? You can't.
Yeah, they stopped refinances like for like a little stretch, right? Like
oh my God, yeah. So that just put a big panic in everything. And right now, thankfully, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks here, you know, I've been able to go back to my basics and what I did from whenever I originally started. You know, just.
So yeah, let's start. Okay, so you got a team in California, right? Like a little team. Not trying to sneak.
I got a small team in California.
Yes.
I got about 3 agents there.
Yeah, a team though. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a team of one. He's got a team of one. Ari?
If you count me as one whole person, probably. Yeah.
So, like, what were you guys doing, you and the team? Because you go back and forth here in California, right? Like back and forth. And I want you to talk about, because we talked about this yesterday, you started doing a lot of stuff online the past year, but what were you guys doing to get deals, like clients, literally 2 months ago, because you guys were on fire, to what are you doing literally today? Like, I know you literally just switched it up. So, like, what the fuck happened?
Okay, well, a lot hasn't changed in how we get our clients. Most of our clients come in from a reputation that I built out there in my hometown. Got a pretty big family there, so we're pretty lucky with that. With my agents, they do the same basics that I do: the door knocking, the social media posts, the constant content, you know, uploading of content and doing all that stuff. but their number one focus was education, like educating themselves to have that confidence to go out. So when you speak to one of them or to myself, we'll tell you what the heck's going on before we start showing you properties, or before we even get you into a contract, just so you're comfortable with that. What they're doing, there's no more face-to-face. We stopped with all the open houses beginning of March. There's no more face-to-face. Beforehand, it would be all face-to-face. Meet them at the property, or meet them at a Starbucks, at their home, at the office, wherever it is. Okay. Now everyone's just doing the FaceTime, Zoom calls, just over the phone conversations. One of my agents actually parked up in front of the house and had the seller to sign a listing agreement outside of his house. He just left the contract right on top of his hood. Seller came out, signed it, and left. They've already gone over the entire contract. It's just weird, you know what I mean? So we're still going through it out over there. And over here in Arizona, it's mostly just virtual tours. You know, if we really want to be out there showing property, our clients just going through like the whole virtual tour aspect of it. And if they really like the home, then that's when we'll set that up. Obviously, the whole hand sanitizer thing, which that's what the agents are doing also in California. It's a whole hand sanitizer thing, and making sure that they don't touch anything and that you don't touch anything. Mm-hmm. And if you do, you're probably holding on. Well, what I do is I hold on to a little Clorox wipe, and I hold every single door handle with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's pretty much what like, you know, just what we're doing right now.
Jonathan, can you tell me about your typical demographic? Like, who's your typical customer?
It ranges from everywhere, man. First-time home buyers, which is most impacted.
I want to hear about that.
And also young families. Young families, meaning the first child is still a toddler. You know, those are my typical demographics there.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that? How have the conversations been a couple months ago versus now with first-time home buyers or younger buyers? Like, put it this way, my typical demographic is between the ages of like 30 and 45. Some of them are usually on their first or second car. So I run also a car brokerage too. Mm-hmm. So some of them are on their only first or second purchase in their life, and you know they're still newbies to a lot of things. So I also, for the first time, bought a house in November. Had November been now, this conversation, say, with a realtor, oh, fuck it, I'll tell him, call me in June or maybe August.
Whenever I'm allowed to go outside.
Like, put it this way, I bought my place pretty much sight unseen. I just needed to check out the basement. Right? So we came for 10 minutes. We came down to the basement, smelled, knocked on the wood to check if there's any real mold or anything like that, and we put in the offer. It could have been done remotely.
Yeah.
I'm your typical, like, oh, no problem. No open house, no problem. But the virtual stuff had no bearing. It was the money aspect. So right now, I got a lot of clients, they're affluent customers. They might be 30 to 45, but they got cash.
Right.
But with the car lease, obviously it's a lot different than a home purchase. And I know that FHA just recently changed their guidelines for minimum credit score. That's true?
Yeah.
Yes.
How has that been hitting the real estate industry with a lot of these buyers up and coming in Arizona? What's that been like?
It's, let's say, shaved off about a third of my business due to some of the down payment assistance programs and all that. And most of those down payment assistance programs are clients that don't have that much cash. Okay, you got young families again. You know, they don't have that much cash. They're working the 8 to 5s. Okay, they don't want to be pulling out of their 401ks because they pretty much don't got any money in there. What they're doing right now is, you have the home buyer right now. So let's just say it really goes out to case by case scenario here, man. You know, let's just say this home buyer had a 600 credit score. He was in the down payment assistance program, but could no longer qualify. What could I do with that? There's nothing that we could really do about that.
You can't.
So it's pretty much put them on hold and you have the lender still work with them and trying to eliminate some of their debts to get their FICO score back up. Now, what do you do with the person who's ready and able to purchase right now? That's where the key is here. So with that person, it's where their comfort level's at, man. Where do they want to be whenever they're looking into purchasing their first home or their second home? You know,
Right.
Are they able to go online and look at a home and comfortably say, okay, this is the property that we want to check out? I can't tell you. I mean, it just really comes down to the preference of the individual family. You know, I have a couple right now. I was just telling Shant about them yesterday too. That they're okay with just taking a look at properties. Last week we looked at about 7 homes, all around the valley. You know, they were perfectly fine with touching stuff, and they had their own hand sanitizer to kind of prep them for. The wife actually came with a big old screen like this covering her face, making sure that no germs hit her. But you know, that's what's going on right now. I mean, it just comes down to those individuals. If they want to wait it out, they're able to wait it out. If they don't, then they're ready to buy right now. Then they're able to buy right now.
Are you
right now? Some of these buyers, you could definitely get a deal on some of these transactions, because it's not only from the buyer's aspect, the seller is also concerned too. Am I going to be able to get that reserve amount of money that I want to get for me to be able to make my next move? Yeah, investor goes, I'm panicking right now. I want to sell it right now. You know, but it just comes down to how that individual feels.
Yeah. So speaking about that, John, what is a conversation like with the buyer for you who's still like, yo, I don't care. I need to go buy my house. Right. Is it like, yo, you could get a deal right now, or are we not there yet for like, yo, you could get a deal? Because, investors started hitting me up and I'm like, yo, we ain't there yet. But what are you saying? Like,
it again goes down to case by case scenario with the seller, because there's another story on like the other end. Okay, Mr. Buyer, you want to turn around, offer him 50 grand below current market value. It's not going to happen, you know? However, you can go ahead and try to negotiate a little bit more closing costs. You might be able to get them to give you some closing costs here, or maybe do some remodeling inside of the property, and maybe do all three: the whole repairs, the closing costs, the decreased value, or the decreased offer price on there. You're able to do all that, but again, it comes down to the seller. It depends on where the seller's mind is at. Mm-hmm. Do they just want to get rid of it right now? Yeah. You know, one thing I have experienced this past week was on 2 of our appraisals in California, prices came down a little bit. You know, not trying to put a little scare out there, but appraisers are not putting. I mean, these homes were at value when they hit the market. There were multiple offers on there. We came in, at a pretty good price point, but the appraised value came in about $7 grand lower on one and $13,000 lower on like the other.
Jeez.
And we don't. I mean, in the next month here, we're gonna see how that's gonna impact real estate. And also, Shot, what I was telling you yesterday is that real estate's about 3 to 4 months behind, even 5 months behind the rest of the global market or the rest of the nation's market here too. You know what I mean? So like the auto industry might feel it right now with some of like the values and stuff, or whatever other industries. Real estate comes in months after, because again, remember, it takes 25 to 50 days, 60 days to be able to close a transaction.
Yeah.
You need about 3 or 4 of those properties to be able to put a value on a property,
Yeah. And I've noticed a lot of agents talking about that. Like right now, like they're just kind of going business as usual, but I'm like, A, do you guys not fucking see what's happening? And like, B, like this shit's going to hit us. Like you said, it was right on the point. Like it's going to hit us a little bit later, because like we got long transactions, right? So like give it 2 months, people are going to be like, oh shit. Because like I've seen people, no recession in real estate, still getting deals under contract, all good. It's like, nah, bro, like give it 2 months.
Model, bro. Good job, and again, that just comes down to, I think they're all just more like bragging just online with some of these agents of, oh, we're still getting offers in, we're still doing this just to get more clientele out of it,
Yeah.
But, and I'm going to go back to what I was on Ari earlier. It's just the education that you have to give those buyers these sellers out there. These experiences that I'm having, those are some of my discussions that I have with my clients, you know. And I'm not trying to put fear in them. I'm just trying to be real with them too. Hey, you're buying real estate right now on not an unstable ground, but you're buying real estate at a point where it's going to start decreasing. Values will start going down. There's no doubt about that. But when it goes back up, we don't know. You know, it just depends on when this COVID-19 comes off of the nation's, off of like just off everyone, where everyone's allowed to go back outside. You know what I mean? If people are able to be comfortable about going back out and purchasing things.
John, let me ask you a question as far as core values go. So I'm what you might consider a very, very traditional businessman. I believe that the customer is always right, even when they're flat out bullshitting through their teeth. So I always treat them with that extra level of respect. However, to a certain degree, after some time goes on, after some trust is built, you sort of come back a little bit, right? You do business as usual, but you're not kissing overtly their ass. I've started kissing ass again, just in case. You know what I mean? Like really hug them close, make sure that like they ain't going anywhere for a little while.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about how business has humiliated you a little bit because of this, or has it not brought you to that level yet? Because it didn't need to bring me to that level. Mentally, I'm always ready to snap back into start kissing some asses real quick, bro. Make sure you're good as an insurance policy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I don't think I've changed my ways, no matter where the market was at. Again, from when I started during the Great Recession in 2009 to the increase by the end of 2012, beginning of 2013, I don't think I've changed. The same technique that I've been using by not putting that fear, but kind of educating that client in worst case scenarios for them not to, because this is one thing I always tell my client is that I don't want to resell the property that I'm putting you in. I started off in a time where people bought too much home for themselves. One spouse, if something happened to one spouse, the other spouse wasn't able to afford all of like their bills. I don't want them to over leverage themselves. I'll tell them that. Even in 2016, when homes were selling like hotcakes, in California, we did over 50 transactions. You know what I mean? Just in a small market. People were just buying homes left and right, but that's one thing that I always told them. And it's just like, hey, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to come in $25,000 over the purchase price? Now, what I'm telling my client is, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to purchase a home during this time? Are you sure you want to do that? Because I don't want to sell your home in the next 2 years if you end up losing your job. And that's just how I build that rapport with my client. I would not put my name on a contract if I can't sleep at night knowing that this person's making a big mistake, or if I didn't verbally tell them something. You know what I mean? If I didn't instill that with them. I think that comes down from my dad too, because any decisions that I've made, the guy would always tell me, as long as I'm telling you this, you can make any decision that you want, because if you fall, I know that it's not my issue.
I love that.
I told you what to do.
Yeah.
I told you. I've already told you, man. Don't take a bite out of that apple.
But he didn't stop you. He just told you, listen, it's not a good thing to do, but I'm going to leave it up to you.
It's up to you if you actually want to do that.
I love that. So no, I respect that. I respect that a lot. I think Shant and my dad probably would have smacked that apple so hard out of our hands.
Without saying don't do it, just smack us.
Yeah.
You got a question?
No, please.
No, so I want to know, tactically, John, real quick.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go too much in detail. like to get a client, right? Because like we as realtors, we have to prospect, right? Like new clients. Forget like the clients we've always had, and like you have your name in California, right? Because like you've built a brand, right? Like you've been doing it for so long. But like out here in Arizona, I know you don't have a huge brand yet like you do in California. So like what were you doing 2 months ago or a month ago to get clients here, and like open houses, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And like and now we can't do that stuff. So like what were you doing literally a month ago to try to find new clients, and what are you doing today?
I was farming. Farming is pretty much, I would select a certain subdivision, a certain community. I'd break that down into a third or an eighth of just like that one subdivision, and now I'd market it for a whole month, 2 months, 3 months, and then I'd come back a few months later to it. Right now, actually, I'm pretty much getting on, just doing it online. Whenever I'm putting content online, on Facebook ads and all that, I trigger just that one area. I'm working on a few mailers right now, and I'm hunting towards a specific niche of people right now. And this is a tip for all you agents out there, if you want to find a client right now, look for that person who has a 20% equity in like their property. Put it on your radar of once that home goes into foreclosure. Meaning that because of what's going on right now, a lot of individuals, what they're doing is they're into the craze that, hey, I could probably do this forbearance thing where I don't have to pay 3 months of my mortgage. Okay. But yet back in, and again, Sean, I know you told me not to get into detail, but this is going to have to get into detail here.
Yeah. Go, please.
That's what I'm not banking on, but that's what a lot of agents are looking at right now to see what's going to happen here, because guarantee you out of a pot of 500 homes, you're going to get at least 50 homes, at least 50 families that someone's going to lose their job, and that they're going to go for that forbearance, on like the full forbearance deal here, where you don't pay your mortgage for 90 days, for 3 months, and there's a lot of information out there where you can do a deferment where they'll put the 3 months of payment at the end of your 30-year note or your 20-year note, 30-year note. Majority of banks aren't going to do that. They're just going to charge you right on fourth month. They're going to be asking for the whole lump sum. Okay, go to Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank, any of those banks there, they have it all. I mean, they'll tell you exactly what their criteria is. It's very similar to 2009 whenever we're doing the loan modifications. In 2009, I closed only $1 million in real estate. Average household value is about $130,000 from
like 10 deals.
Yeah. I closed about $1.2 million, I could say. I did about 20 loan modifications for people, not charging, but that's what I was doing for individuals. I was helping them out with their loan modifications. And it's pretty crazy how those loan modifications came out. Some of the terms on there, people thought that it's going to be modified over the whole life of like loan, or 15 or 20 years. But that wasn't the case here. These things were only for 7 years. They would lower the interest rate from a variable to a fixed at 2%. And every year you'll have a 1.5% increase. At the end of the day, dude, I had clients for 2015, 2014, because they would have to own a lump sum of, like, let's say 80 grand at the end of those modification years, So that's something similar to what's going to happen here with the
forbearance. Yeah. So like people are gonna, so to like break it down in simpler terms, right now, there's going to be a bunch of people who can't pay their mortgage because they lost their job.
Right.
They're going to put the forbearance because in the news it sounds like you don't have to pay it till in 30 years, but that's just going to be due in 4 months, and no one's going to get a job back in 4 months and have $10,000 to cut a check. So, and that's where you're but that's why I think what you're doing is keeping an eye on those people who are missing payments or the forbearance, because they have equity, and you're going to come in and try to help them, actually, not just screw them. Yeah.
Get them out of that situation.
Yeah. So Ari, what you were going to ask something in the beginning. What did you like? Sounded good.
Oh no. I heard about the content. I was wondering exactly, Jonathan, what do you think is some of the most important content agents could be producing right now that would actually be beneficial for both them and people to actually watch? What would you say is like a hot topic right now that people are here and there? You're seeing more content revolving around that than you might be of just anything in general.
Exactly what I was just discussing with Shant right now was the whole forbearance issue of what they're hearing and reading on U.S. Today, New York Times, and all that. This is what banks are able to do for you, and they make it seem like it's for everyone. No, almost 4 of the top banks out there. That's not the case. It's either a death of a co-borrower, loss of job. You actually have the medical illness of COVID-19. Okay, that kind of stuff. So you have to qualify for this. It's not just you have to contact your bank to see if you qualify for this, and they need everything. It's as if you're applying for a whole new loan, and it's a process for it. Okay, that's the type of content that agents need to be putting out there. Not only agents, lenders, CPAs, everyone who's involved with families. It's educating them. It doesn't matter for us to gain it. It's not for us to gain a client. Okay, it's for us to get that trust. It's to get that reputation, so that in 2009 or in 2008, when people were losing their asses, they were losing their homes, they were losing their jobs, they were losing everything. They were blaming the real estate agent. They were blaming the appraiser. They were blaming their lender. Mm-hmm. Let's not do that again. Let's actually educate these people. And if it's education by scaring them, you're doing damn well with it then, because that's almost like a father approach again. You know, that's how you take care of your entire nest. That's how you take care of your family. And as a client, that's your family. You know, you're putting them in a home. Why do you want to see that person lose it? Over something that you didn't, over information that you weren't able to give them, you know, but you're too busy flashing, you know, I just closed 7 deals this month, you know, or
the market's great.
Check out my new BMW that I just bought with Ari. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, the market's great. It's people are like, you know what's, and I'm gonna do a video on this actually, just you talking about it, because like people are like, oh, it's not an 08, it's not a financial crisis, it's a health crisis. Prices aren't going to go down. The key word, crisis. Prices are going to go down, bro.
Yeah, something's going to pop off.
Yeah, so don't, just because it wasn't the same as it was 10 years ago where the market crashed, doesn't mean it's not going to crash again. Not saying it's going to be as bad, but like people need to understand. Stop saying that shit. It's been pissing me off when realtors are like, nah, this one's not a big deal. Last time it was a lending issue. We're fine now. No, like people, if you don't have jobs, you can't pay your fucking mortgage.
I tell them this flat out, bro. What are you saying? They stopped refinances. Some banks came and do an FHA loan. Some banks came and do VA loans. When the hell did that ever happen?
Yeah, it's never happened in the history.
When the hell did the government step in and say no more? And your bank's not allowed to. You have to be a specific bank with a certain amount of assets and investors behind you that you're allowed for you to be able to do this.
Yeah. So real quick, I took some notes here from like when you were saying the stuff you're doing right now, a little different, right? And when you talked about mailers, I don't know if anyone caught that. Right now, mailers, sending mail to people like in an area is probably money because, bro, everyone's home. Like I'm actually like reading my mail right now, bro. Like, Adi, what do you think about like mailers right now?
If it's very personalized, I think it can be very, very effective. If it matches the tone of every other piece of mail that came in, you're going to get automatically tossed.
But you're going to be paying attention to it more
a lot
now.
More. So it's very, very, it's crucial that you make that mail very attractive.
So I like that idea. I didn't think of that. I was doing mailers like.
Ari, what do you mean by making it very attractive?
If you can write the actual name and address by hand, as opposed to printing labels, you would get, I think, a much higher open rate.
What if you're got good handwriting? What do you advise?
You get a cousin to come in, pay him a couple $100 and do it for you. That way you can leave your hands free. Another thing you said, sorry to cut you guys off, but I want to get this. Facebook ads right now, I think would be really good as long as it's not the same shit that people have been saying for the past. Because I found the way you can look at everyone's Facebook ads, what people are running. And I saw people like, oh, stunning new home listed or blah, blah, blah. It's like you can't use the same shit you used a month ago. It's got to be a little different, right? The verbiage has to be different on what. But ads are right now very effective because all I know is people are on fucking Facebook and Instagram and TikTok right now all day. Mm-hmm. So
That's a good thing. And then what you're doing, John, what I've realized, what I noticed, you didn't bring it up yet, but like you're doing a lot of Instagram giveaways for like from small businesses trying to help some local businesses, right?
Family, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, family.
Yeah. Well, it's not my specific family, but they're in the business industry, dude. So we have to support each other, and that's either by supporting them through social media, giving them a little. I mean, the gift cards that we're doing, it's not going to help them paying their mortgage, but the exposure is going to help them out. You know, it might give an idea for other agents or for other businesses to support another business. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's when you have to come together and kind of support each other. And in my community back home, all those businesses, they've impacted my business. When I first started, I was putting my business cards there. Mm-hmm. You know, I was putting my business card in their napkin holders. They were allowing me to do that at 21 years old, you know, as an agent when everyone hated realtors back then, you know. So now it's time for us to kind of help them out. I mean, it's always time for us to help out other businesses, but in this critical time right now, I mean, they've really been impacted, you know. So,
I like that. Ari?
I was about to ask you about small businesses and what your take was on working with small businesses, and I'm happy I didn't expect that. The giveaway, that's very, 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 very thoughtful idea. And believe me, a lot of people, I don't know, you might, I'm not sure, but I never do. I never think about how much people appreciate when you're looking out for other small businesses. Like you're not putting yourself first in this. Because I think at the end of the day, guys, I think small businesses are suffering the most out of a lot. So hopefully that some of them, they have the competence enough. Some of them don't, but they have the competence enough to use what the government has set aside. Because a lot of them have, they don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
You know?
And hopefully that what the government's giving them, actually they qualify for it too. Because again, it's so fresh, we don't know what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just up to the community, you know, to help each other out. I mean, that's every community. That's the business. That's families. That's neighborhoods. You know, you don't want to see your local pizza joint go out of business. They've been there for 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grandpa handed it down to son. Son now gave it over to his grandson, and grandson now is running that same business. You don't want to see that go away. We've seen too much of that in 05 to 06 to 2014. You know. People had no money in their pockets. I don't want to see that again.
Would you guys say that a very, very popular real estate agent in one particular area, it's almost like it's like a member of the board of selectmen, or like pretty much a politician at this point, like a known figure, a known character in the area? Almost like an ambassador of a city. Like everybody knows that guy. Everybody knows that realtor. Does it work like that in Arizona like it does in Boston?
It works like that in my hometown.
Does it?
It doesn't work like that
Smaller
here.
towns.
Small, yeah. Not here.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that here in Arizona. Shant, I mean, you could probably...
Yeah, I haven't. Not that I mean, there's top dogs that we in the industry know about, but I don't think people know of like, oh, this is the person in the neighborhood. I mean, some people have done really well in neighborhoods, but like not like where you guys are both from.
So
originally.
In Watertown, we got one particular guy. His name is Ari Kufos. In Waltham, we got David DeGregorio and Hans Brinks, right? So these guys are like known characters. Mm-hmm. And, you know, anything related to their city, they'll be involved in. And the very notion that they're so involved in their city is what brings them the business. Mm-hmm. So I think through thick and thin, I think sticking to the actual root, the actual foundation for your operation, I think is key, especially in these times. And I don't know what your guys' take is on, obviously, with small business giveaways, that was huge. That's everything. But really, really getting to know the community in these times, understanding who's who, I think might be helpful going forward. Because right now, Watertown, where I live, I finally met a few neighbors that live inside my complex today.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew me because I'm a local small business. I had no idea that they knew me. Oh, yeah, I've seen you plenty of times. I picked up food. You were the guy in the back with meat smoke in your face. You know, you didn't see me. So I'm like, oh, nice, cool. So I think in these times, really getting to know people is going to do a lot of good in the coming future. I think that's huge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So I want to leave it off with one thing, John. I want to ask you, because like for you, you started in 09. Terrible time to start, probably, right? Right? Was it bad? I was in real estate then, so I don't know.
I had a friend's mom tell me, "What are you doing with yourself? Why are you going to that industry? You're going to college. You're going to become a lawyer. You're going to do this." I'm like, I'll go to school, but I kind of like what I'm doing.
Okay, so you started in a bad time, right? And obviously you've made it this far. And now for whoever's starting now, right, in this kind of time, because actually my sister-in-law is starting now, and like people, like I know people are across the country that are starting now, right? And it's like, what, because you're kind of starting now too in Arizona, right? It's a little newer.
I'm still there. Yeah.
So like, since you've gone through shit already and been through a recession, a storm, you know, like what advice do you have for someone going through this right now? Like what can they do? And if there's anything someone could do.
What they could do right now is go back to your, understand your morals as a agent, and take the time right now, since you're home. Most of the time you're going to be home. Educate yourself. There's so much content online to where you can learn. Go back to the content that was pumped out in 08 to 09, 2010, 11, 12. Understand that. Understand the processes behind what a REO is, what it means, what a BPO is, and what it really means. Educate yourself. Build that confidence up, because you're not going to be out there hosting these open houses, getting like in front of people. But when this shitstorm's over with, you're going to be an encyclopedia. You're going to be so knowledgeable. Now you're going to be able to put that out for work. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, you weren't there 10 years ago, 11 years ago, but you're here now and you know exactly what happened, Yeah. And then at the same time, go back to just the way that you were also raised to. When people ask for your advice, make sure you give them good advice, good sound advice on what they're going to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because, and I think I already had a question because I think he's Googling BPO probably right now.
No, I found out the answer to that real quick. It's just real estate terminology. Who owns what?
Yeah. So
selling what?
No, I'm kidding.
So like my past clients, literally, they called me like literally this time last week, and they're like, "Hey, we want to sell our house and move." Like they're like, I was like, I literally told them like, no, like, what are you talking? Like, no, like, what are you doing? I'm like, first I said, like, let's talk about it, right? Let's not just jump into this excited decision. I'm like, how are your jobs? Like, what job security do you guys have for the next, not right now, because shit could get real in the next month or two. I'm like, are you an essential person? Because if you're not, don't buy a fucking house right now. So like we had that conversation. It's just being real, man. Like my other friends, they were actually closing on a new build. They were freaking out, but I'm like, she's a nurse. I was like, you're fine. Like, you're good. Like, you're not going to be affected by this at all. And then the other, he's a lawyer or an attorney or something. I'm like, you guys are going to be fine. But it's just literally, like you said, John, I think just fucking be real with people, man. Like, find out what's best for them, because at the long run, it's going to see. This is why you're a guy who's been in the business for 10 years plus, still crushing it, because you've always been real from the beginning. If you're a piece of shit, you probably would not still be. in Arizona getting deals in California
Yeah.
because that's so hard to do.
Yeah,
Trust me, I know I can't get deals.
I kind of laugh about that, and I kind of pat myself on the shoulder, on the back of the shoulder. One other thing, Sean, just like how you said how you talk to your clients about that stuff, there's two things that I discussed with my agents about 2 weeks ago. If we get any sort of seller lead, you ask them one thing: where's your employment right now? What are you doing for work?
Mm-hmm.
Is your job going to be impacted? Are you 80% sure, at least 80 to 90% sure that that you're going to be employed in the next 5-6 months? Mm-hmm. If this shit really goes on for a longer time? And at the other time, and like the second thing is, why? Why do you want to get rid of like that property? Mm-hmm. It's key to ask that question. There's some that just don't like their neighborhood. Mm-hmm. You know? They just need to get the hell out of there because, I don't know, a kid screwed up and he doesn't want to be there anymore, or too much robbery, or it's just the home's too big for them. They just want to get the hell out. Yeah. They're just over it. Okay. Those are the times when it's a good time to sell. You know, you at least get a little bit out of it, you know? Yeah. But anyways, that's
Ari, what about you? Do you have anything?
I just enjoy hearing about what other people are sort of doing in a positive light. I just don't want to hear anything. It hurts too much to hear anything bad, man. Like, it just, some of the shit that I got to hear throughout the week. I got a lot of friends in the restaurant business and the car business, and it's just everybody's got something like awful going on right now that it's nice to hear for a change that we're still able to think outside the box right now instead of like, how am I going to like really get out of this box right now? You know what I mean? Oh. Good stuff, though, guys. Good stuff.
All right, John. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you, bro.
Guys. Thank you, guys.
Nice to meet you, John.
Pleasure meeting you, brother.
Yeah, next time when all this is done and Ari comes out, we'll all get together, man.
Yeah, I love that. John, you from Syria? Where are you from?
I'm from California, but my family's all from Iran.
Iran. I love that.
We're actually Syrian.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got sort of that like Iranian swagger to you.
It's more Assyrian than anything else, but yeah.
I love it. No, it's very, very confident. Very like good shit.
What do you mean by that?
No, just like very, very straight shooter.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
All right, John. Thank you, man.
Awesome, guys. Later.
Go up, bro. Thank you.
All right, later. Bye.
Bye, John.
All right. Well, that was. What do you think, man?
I like John. John's a sweet. He's a really nice guy. You know why he kind of rubs me as Iranian or somewhere in parts of the Middle East?
Yeah. That
aren't like Armenians. They don't try to be sort of like sleazy, nice. You know what I mean? Like, how are you, sir? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for him, though, man. No, that's good shit, man. He started in 2009, so he was probably already dealing with garbage anyway. So he didn't really feel a need. You know what I mean? Like, buddy, like, I've been dealing with shit all week. You want to just fucking cut the bullshit?
Yeah. I think that matters, man, when you start, like, if you started, like, when the market's just, like, you just show up and you get deals, you're a little bit more of an asshole, I think.
Yeah. Chip on your shoulder a little bit.
Yeah. And it's funny. That's crazy. And that was supposed to be like 10 minutes, and that went a lot longer.
Well, it was interesting because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing heavy hitters just saying, like, oh, I'm not doing anything, bro. I'm just waiting for the fucking thing to open back up. What? You're not even lifting, no running. You're not making sure, like, your suit's still fit, ready to go.
Yeah. No, that was good. Like, dude, mailers right now?
Yeah.
I like that, dude. That's
letters.
Just mailers right now. And educating yourself, man. Like, that's huge right now. Like, if you could just be a fucking expert, it's going to pay off in the long run. Two really good, a lot of good points, the giveaways for small business. Just a lot of good content,
Need a
man.
fucking audiobook or something if you're not doing anything, man. Try to, like, learn a skill.
Yeah. I did a 2-hour drop ship training yesterday. Like, literally and did more. Like I watched a bunch of shit, but like a legit 2 hours. So like I literally learned the whole dropship business yesterday. So I think like just like I know how to dropship now.
Yeah. Like just in case it really pops off, and I gotta start selling like
Yeah, I just
women's footwear, whatever.
if you need soap, call me.
That's fucking great, man. Wow. Good podcast tonight, man.
Yeah, I think we should do this more.
Let's do it next week. I'll figure out someone to bring on for next week. I'll try to get somebody greasy.
Just get like a greasy.
Greasy arm.
That's the part where he was talking about, keeping an eye on people who are late on payments. It's rough, but I mean,
I'm not doing it. I don't even want to have that conversation.
but it's you got
We're
to.
just going to put your home into foreclosure status and then delay the actual foreclosure unless you miss a payment by 1 day, which at that point, your house belongs to us.
No, he's helping people, bro. Because what that is like before it gets to foreclosure, it's like, dude, you have a lot of equity. Fucking sell now before you go into foreclosure.
Right.
Cash out.
I'm saying I don't even want to start that conversation. I don't want to fall into a fucking loophole
Yeah.
because of how fucking scary this whole mortgage business is.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I'm all set. I just want to make my payment on time right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because literally, it's funny. The first day, like they announced that, I'm like, "Yo, babe, we don't have to pay the mortgage this month. Like, we're good."
Yeah. The fucking
She's like,
fine print is longer than the actual paragraph.
Yeah, the headline. I read the headline. It's like no payment. I was like, and Betty was like, "I don't think that's how it works." Like she had to like school me. I'm like,
I'm just gonna leave it on auto pay for the time being.
so bad.
Oh, good shit, man. Nice.
Yeah, fun times. What are you gonna do now?
Well, I don't know. I think the guys want to play Jeopardy tonight. I'm not 100% sure, but I might have to hop on another Zoom call or possibly Google Duo call. Play
Yeah, I
some
might do.
Jeopardy.
Wow, I have 85 text messages.
Well, we're gonna hop off this podcast, and guess what you're gonna do?
What the fuck, 85? Jesus, how long have we been doing this?
I don't know.
All right,
Good night, Shant.
not night, but thank you. You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.